Alright guys, we're starting a new unit, so I'm just going to kick off the unit with a quick video here to get you to begin the notes. And then I'm going to have you complete level 1 and level 2 as the homework to prepare for tomorrow. So we're going to be designing a big flow chart in this space. We're going to be drawing a lot of different quadrilaterals, and then we're going to be specifying what makes that quadrilateral that specific type as we move from one quadrilateral to the next. And they're going to get more and more precise or more specific as we go. So we'll start with just a basic quadrilateral at the top of your page. Remember, all a quadrilateral is a four-sided figure, so there's nothing special about this thing. If I were to take a quadrilateral and then restrict it so that two of the sides were parallel, I would call that a trapezoid. Note that in this trapezoid, these two sides are intended to look parallel, and that's the key here. At least one pair of sides has to be parallel. All right, moving right along. If it weren't just one pair of opposite sides that were parallel, but two pairs, we would call that a parallelogram, which is something we're already very familiar with. So note here, it's not just the top and bottom sides that are parallel. I would also need these two opposite sides to be parallel for this thing to be a parallelogram. So we'll define a parallelogram to be a quadrilateral with two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. We're going to do two different things to this parallelogram separately. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make it so that every single side of this parallelogram has the same length, and we're going to call that a rhombus. So a rhombus is still a parallelogram, but now all four sides are congruent. That's what makes this a rhombus. But the other thing I could have done is I could have taken this parallelogram and made it so that one of the angles is a right angle. And automatically when you do that, we'll talk about why this is, but if one of these angles in here is a right angle, if one of these is right, then they're all eventually going to have to be right angles. So as it turns out, all four will be right, but the key is that one is. And when we do that, that is called a rectangle. So once one angle is right, we can go ahead and add in that the rest will be as well. That's something we'll prove further. A rectangle is just a parallelogram with four right angles. Now, if you wanted to design a parallelogram that had all four sides congruent and four right angles, you would call that a square. So we'll define a square to be a rhombus and a rectangle. That's it for the front of the notes. Please complete the practice in level 1 and level 2.